Hi there, Anchor Boys, and welcome to our first week of BB at Home Online. It was really good to see so many of you on our Zoom call last week. It was lovely to see all of your faces. For some of the boys, maybe if this is your first week, then back, it's really good to see you. And it's a really good, I want to give a special welcome to Jacob Tinney, who's joining us this year. So brilliant that you're coming along, Jacob, to join in with all the other boys and Anchor Boys as well. And hopefully in the future at some point we will be back in our halls when it's safe to do so, and we will look forward to that when we'll be able to get back and see all of you face to face. But at the minute we're just doing things slightly different online, but it's still really good to be able to do this with you as well. We want to then wish the P4 boys all the best. They're now in P5. They are moving up to junior section. We had 5 boys from last year. We've got Joshua Adair, Jake Clark, Dara McGuire, Daniel Majimsi and William Walker. They're the 5 boys who were in P4. They're moving up to junior section, and we wish you all the best. We're really going to miss you. You were great boys there, but I know that you'll really settle in well in the junior section. And the final thing there then as well, then before we start what we're going to look at today, is a big thank you to Peter, to Daniel and to Nicola for all their help. Now, they aren't unfortunately going to be able to help this year, but we're really thankful for all that you did last year and over the last few years with all your help with the craft and the games and everything that you did. It was so good to have you, and we were so blessed to have you. And I'm sure the boys, as the leaders, we're all going to miss you, but you know that you're really welcome back at any time as well, okay? So today, boys, we're just going to be thinking a wee bit about measuring. Now, I wonder, have you ever sort of thought about the different ways that you can measure things, okay? So hopefully I have a few things here, maybe that'll give you a bit of a clue. So this is the first one. I wonder what this is, okay? So this is used for measuring weights, and you'll see there then your mum or maybe your dad, maybe if they're doing some baking at home, they'll put all the ingredients in here and they'll be able to measure, and that'll tell you maybe how much of something you have to put in whenever you're baking a cake. So that's for measuring weights of maybe food. We've also got, wonder what this is, boys, then, okay? So this is actually called an egg timer. This could be again used if you want to measure out a certain length of time, or if you're playing a game, or again if you're cooking or something, you could use this, and you can see the sand going down in the egg timer. So that's used for measuring time. We've got a jug here, okay, and that is used for measuring liquid. So maybe if you're putting in water or milk or whatever, making gravy or something, you would use that as well. That's used for measuring liquid. The last thing there then that we have, I wonder what this is, okay? So this is this is for measuring distance or length. So maybe say if you want to see if something's a meter long, you'll check it out. Or maybe you want to see how high a wall is or something like that there, okay? Maybe you want to measure and see how much you've grown from the summer. You could stand against a wall and measure. And then maybe if I wanted to measure how long Skip is, I could go over and I could just check, but Skip maybe doesn't want to be measured at the minute by the looks of things, okay? So well, today for our activity, you can do this activity at home as well, but what I have done is I've selected 5 different items, just random items from my house, and what we're going to do is I'm going to see if I can get you to guess which one of these. We're going to be thinking about weight, which one's the heaviest, which one's the lightest. So here's our 5 items. The first one is we've got an Xbox controller, okay? Second is we've got a nice wee puppy, like a wee model Jack Russell here then, okay? I think Gillian maybe got that for my birthday present one year, so that's a wee bit like Skip. The third thing we've got is we've got a mobile phone. Then we've got a lovely cup. This is for the football team I play for now. I didn't win this cup, but I need to pass this on to somebody. And then the last one then is, if any of you know, I work in the bank, in the Ulster Bank. So this is a money box or a piggy box, okay? And there's lots of coins in it, okay? So what I want you to do is, if you think, which one of those 5 items do you think is the heaviest? Which one of the 5 items do you think is the lightest? So let's have a wee look and see. Maybe if we turn this around. So we'll stick the first one. This is the Xbox controller. Okay. So 200 grams for the Xbox controller, okay? So what about the puppy? I wonder, is he going to be heavier or is he going to be lighter? Oh, okay. So the Jack Russell, he's coming in at 475 grams, so he's heavier than the Xbox controller. I wonder what about the mobile phone. I wonder how heavy it is. Oh, okay. So it's coming in just at 125 grams. Now it's obviously much smaller. Oh, now look at this big cup. So let's pop the cup in and we'll see how heavy. Whoa, look at that there. 850 grams for the cup. We've one more left, okay. Last one is the money box, so let's pop that one in. Oh, 1050 grams, okay. So I wonder how you got on. So actually the heaviest out of the 5 items was the money box, okay. Now it's probably not the money box in itself, but it's all the coins that are inside it that make it heavy, because they're obviously made out of copper and steel, but it was the heaviest. And the lightest one there then out of the 5 items was the mobile phone. So I wonder how you get on. Did you guess which one was the heaviest? Which one was the lightest? Now you can play that game at home where you could get 5 or 6 different items. You'd maybe need to get your mum or dad to give you a hand, get out a measuring and see if you have a guess which one you think's the heaviest, which one you think's the lightest, and you could play that game at home and give it a go, okay? Now the other thing I was thinking about these items, so that's one way you could measure them is by weight, but another thing, sometimes people measure things by how valuable they are as well. So maybe some people might say, well, I wonder which one of these items is the most expensive, which one of them costs the most, which one of them is the cheapest, okay? So I had a wee look on the website or on Argos to see a wireless Xbox controller, $39.99, that's how much it cost, okay? These wee nice Jack Russells, now you can get these in Warden, so I had a look, £11.99 for this wee boy, okay? So mobile phone, now this is a Samsung, my wife very kindly got me this for my birthday, £150 it was then, brand new, isn't that a lot of money? And I had a look on like a trophies website. So one of these cups, sometimes they could maybe cost about £90, okay? Now see for this one here, I don't unfortunately think I'm going to be able to tell you how much this one's going to be worth, because I don't know how much all these coins are that are inside it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you a challenge for next week, and I want you to post on your videos onto the site there then if you want to have a guess and let me know how much you actually think is inside this money box. There's going to be a prize for the boy who guesses the closest. Now when I work in the bank, we've got a brilliant machine, and what you do is you just fire the coins all in, it counts it, and we'll get a receipt and we'll find out as to how much is actually in there, okay? So the most expensive item was the mobile phone, and then the cheapest one then, well, we don't know about the money box, but was the lovely wee Jack Russell. But he's very valuable to me because that was a lovely present, okay? So we were thinking a bit about measuring, some of them about weights, we've been thinking about valuable and how much things cost as well, okay? And some things are easy to measure, maybe by sort of height or weight or different things. Some things are more difficult to measure. And I was thinking about one of the things that's maybe more difficult to measure is love. When we talk about love, and if somebody loves somebody so much, how do you measure that, okay? And what we were going to do for just a couple of minutes was to think about God and his love for us, and how do we measure that, and we'll have a think about that. Now there's a verse in the Bible, and it's found in Psalm 103, and it's found in verse 11, and here's what it says, "For as high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is his love for those who fear him. As far as the east is from the west, so far has he removed our transgressions." That's just a big word for sins from us, okay? So the first part of that verse says, "For as high as the heavens are above the earth." And I was thinking, well, how high are the heavens above the earth, okay? And we know that man has always had this great desire to go out into space, and they've sent out spaceships and rockets, and man's gone to the moon, and they've tried to maybe go to different planets in the solar system. And the amazing thing, these have taken them months and sometimes even years to reach these places, and they still haven't reached the end of the galaxy. This is our galaxy. So they've just kept on going. And I think that God's saying to us in this verse about his love is so big, his love is so amazing, that we find it difficult even to be able to measure it, because it is so huge. His love for us is so amazing that it's as high as the heavens are above the earth. So that's the first thing that reminds us about God's love for us is amazing, that it probably can't even be measured in our own minds, okay? The second thing then, just to finish with, I was thinking about, well, how do we know that God loves us, and how does God show us his love? And there's a verse then in the Bible, one of the most famous verses in the Bible. It's John 3 verse 16, and it says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life." And how God showed that he loves us so much is by sending Jesus, who was his most valuable son, his one and only son. He sent him so that he could die on the cross for us. And the reason that he had to do this was because of our sin, because we've done things, we've walked away from God, we've forgotten about God, we've rebelled against him. But God still loves us, and he sent Jesus to die on the cross so that he would be able to remove our sin. It says in the next part of the verse, he would remove it as far as the east is from the west. And I don't know whether you've ever been on the beach and you've looked away as far as you can see in the distance. Well, God, whenever we ask him to forgive us, takes our sin and he removes it out of his sight, because Jesus has died on the cross. Well, when we trust in him and when we love him and follow him, this is what he does for us. So thank you for listening so well, boys. Over the next number of weeks, we're going to be doing BB Anchor Boys Online. It's a wee bit different, but we hope that you'll enjoy it. Hopefully send us in a few pictures of some of the items that you've got in your house, what way you're going to measure them. Maybe you're going to do weight, maybe you're going to do height. We will look forward to seeing them and to seeing how you get on. And don't forget, have a guess how much you think is in the money box, and next week we will find out and see who the winner is, okay? Alright boys, talk to you soon, and thanks for listening so well. All the best now. Bye bye.